Another bad week for Donald Trump with women. Joining me to talk about it from the Tea Party News Network is Donald Trump defender Scotty Nell Hughes.
Hi, Kate. As a woman, I like Donald Trump, but as a full-blown nut job, I freaking love him.
When I say women, you say suck. Women. Women.
Saturday Night Live mocking CNN's Kate Baldwin, Scotty Nell Hughes, and of course the Donald. Joining us now is Frank Luntz, the Republican pollster and Fox News contributor. So, when Trump's supposed alleged hostility to women moves from the op-ed pages to SNL, is that a cultural barometer? Is that hard to change?
It's significant. Look, if people are indifferent to you, you can go in either direction. Even if people are starting to get a feeling that there's something wrong, you can still turn it. Once they've decided that they don't like you, or more importantly, that they don't trust you, they never come back, no matter what the print journalists say, no matter what TV says. And in this case, with SNL, it's now ridicule. And there were several segments.
It's not laughing with Trump, as in some earlier skits.
It's laughing at him, and it's making a judgment. And this has been the best year for SNL in a long time.
Yes.
But they are skewering Trump, and everyone is now laughing at him, not with him.
Lemon does a great job. All right, so we talked earlier in the show about this Maureen Dowd column in the New York Times interview with Donald Trump, in which he uttered these words to her: "Yeah, it was a mistake." Or this is referring to his retweeting an unflattering picture of Heidi Cruz, the senator's wife, next to a picture of his wife, Melania. Is there a media message here, not just from Maureen, that he needs to change his tone and perhaps, when he's wrong, admit more mistakes? It's a word he doesn't like to use.
I don't think he hears it. In watching him, as someone who's done this now for 25 years, I don't see that he feels it. It's what makes him so tough that he can withstand any criticism from the networks and the print journalists, but I don't think that he feels it as a person. He needs to go on, and there's only one show to do this on, frankly. It's 60 Minutes, and he needs to go and emote.
I thought you were going to say media buzz. Emote? Did he need to, like sitting on Oprah's couch?
Yes.
We see Donald Trump's emotions all the time.
That's a different kind of emotion. That's him as aggression. That's him as in your face. He needs to sit back and be self-reflective, and that's not something he is.
I think what journalists miss is, look, this tough guy, street fighter persona is what got him to this huge lead in the GOP race. And also, this is how he was in the tabloid tough town of New York for years and years and years, became an international celebrity. So I think it's hard for him to let that go.
But what gets you to the Republican nomination does not get you to the general election. Yeah. And I'm watching newspapers already say that the election's over. There hasn't been a convention.
Oh, before you give this answer, you set me up nicely, because here's the New York Times front page lead story about Trump could face a humiliating loss in the fall if he wins the nomination. He could be hard-pressed to get 200 out of the 270 electoral votes. I remember when Michael Dukakis was 17 points up in the spring of '88 against George H.W. Bush. Aren't these prognostications on a campaign where Trump, if he's the nominee, and Hillary haven't even squared off, aren't they premature?
Walter Mondale was tied with Ronald Reagan in 1984, and he lost in the landslide. 5 days before the election, Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter, and they had the debate, and that changed everything. We have to see what happens in the conventions, and most importantly, that first presidential debate. Mitt Romney won that debate, and if he had done the same way in the second and third debates, he could have been elected president.
So when
debates matter.
We have less than half a minute. When you look at stories like this, I mean, you know, look, it's a good data analysis, and you want to talk about unfavorables and so forth, but do you think we're too much in the prediction business?
They have every right to tell us how things would be if things don't change. But I want viewers to understand that things do change. This is the most fluid election ever, and people are changing their minds all the time.
And that's why we have campaigns, and if the polls were predictive, Jeb Bush would be the Republican nominee, and he's out of the race. Frank Luntz, great to see you here in Washington.